All right.
Hello, President Yasushi-san. Hello.
Fred is there.
Yes, President Yasushi-san. Hello.
He needs to unmute himself.
You have to wait for Yuta to come in and act as interpreter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He, for some reason, has gone live already.
Okay.
I don't want to end stream because I don't know what will happen if I end it. May
Okay,
not
so
be able to restart.
We just
So
we are now chit-chatting online, so why not?
Yeah, we are live, so let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. Huh? Okay.
Hello, Lipki.
Hello. Good evening, Lipki. Hello, Tapan. Oh, this is. Hello, Fred from RC Rizal West. Hi. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good
Hello.
evening.
Everyone.
Hello.
Bhagwan is coming.
Hi, President. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Bhagwan.
Good evening, Mohan.
Pamuan, you're on mute, Pamuan.
How are you doing, Shahul? You look so handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Kavita, Shahul.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Kavita.
Because of Otram, you have become gray. Yeah?
That's so terrible.
Hello, Kavita. Good evening.
Hello, Kavita.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Very good.
Very well. Let's see.
Very well.
Hello, President.
Hello, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, President Takshing.
Hello,
Good
President
evening.
Dinesh.
Welcome.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Bernie is here as well.
Anna, Rotary Club of Bali. Hello. Hello, Anna.
Bali. Your Japanese sister clubs here.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can we ask them to unmute?
Nevada goes from 85% to 86% reporting, 2,640 votes were captured seconds ago, minutes ago with this amazing technology.
Hi, Shahul.
Oh, DJ is coming in.
Hi, Takshin. Hi.
President.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello, DG.
DG, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, DG is here.
hello. Good evening. Good evening, DG Rajamohan.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. You have to unmute. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. My buddy is talking today.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you, DG?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
Suresh, where's Suresh? Toshi, hello.
Hello, Toshi-san.
Hi, nice to meet you again.
Yes.
How are you today?
Very good. Thank you. Yep.
Toshi, how are you? How are you doing?
Nice to
Hi,
you
Tapan.
again.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. Haven't seen you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. My coffee is due.
Udam is coming.
Chief Content Officer of Marty Schenker, and Tom, just to update everyone what we're going to see Nevada, and looking at a veteran political reporter. That's
Hello there. Hello there.
talk about our sources, but it's a good indication. We understand that there are
Hello, Udam.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi there.
Hey, Bridget. Before I have to lead the meeting a little early today.
Okay, cool.
I've got something another webinar at 8.
At 8. Okay, you're a busy man.
Wow.
Peter Tan is coming in.
Hi, Snali.
Hi,
Oh, Mohan, Kerale.
Ika, kiya
Kavita, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Hi.
Tapan.
Hello.
How are you, Tam?
How are you?
All well, thank you.
Another Bali man, woman, lady.
Hi, PP Peter.
Hello, PB Peter. Good evening.
Hi, Fred. Hello, good evening, all.
Hello,
Hi,
Peter.
Peter.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
EP Panda from RC Bali. Good evening.
I don't ask them.
Welcome.
Hello, Jazz.
Good evening
Hello.
from Japan. My name is Taniyatsu.
Hello.
Hi, Hayden.
Hello. Hi, Suresh.
Hi, the new perspective from New Zealand.
President, the Japanese club wished you.
Yes.
Which club is the Japan from? Which club?
Suita. It's a Suita club from
Suita,
Osaka.
Osaka Police.
Osaka.
Osaka.
Yes, admitted.
Hey, Haido. Nice to see you.
Ida, where are you?
Mark. Good evening.
Good evening. Hi, President Dinesh. So many people.
Yeah.
Good to see DG there also. How are you, DG Mohan?
Hello, Jess.
Whoa.
I'm good, thank you. Nice to see you as well. See all
Hello,
of you.
Yuta-san.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi.
Utah is also.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, Yuta-san
nice to
is
meet you.
here.
Hi,
Yes,
Jess.
nice to meet you.
Hi.
So Yuta-san, you can help us today to communicate with the president.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Can you please introduce them because they have been since 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, okay. So it's okay to greet officially right now by Sita Rotary.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, so it's okay to officially greet to all of you by Sita Rotary Yumi. I mean, just a kind of like.
No, not officially. You just tell us
Okay.
coordinates. Yeah.
I see.
We'll call later.
Okay. But maybe they can say something like one word, 2 words. Okay. So I ask them in Japanese.
Yes, please.
Yeah. 谷会長、一言、お疲れ様です。一言だけ、こんにちはって言っていただければ幸いですということでございます。はい、5分の。
President Yasushi?
Yeah.
Yes. And Honorary Secretary Masada-san?
Yeah, Oeda-san. Yeah, Mr. Oeda-san.
Oeda-san, okay. And Yadoi-san? Yodoi-san, okay. And Miss Kuniko? Hi. Okay.
公式なご挨拶は後でいいということなので、今は、 簡単にご紹介ということでした。本日ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for visiting us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So they will officially greet later, no?
Later we'll call the president to say a few words.
Yes,
and
yeah,
you please
thank you.
help us to translate.
I mean, they will speak in English. I mean, they already prepared
Okay,
something
all
to
right.
do. Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Taxing.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. See you.
Hi.
Oh, nice chandelier.
Hey, hi, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
Hi.
How are you, Jess?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, President, all okay? Good?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're still alive, yeah.
Yes. Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Jess. Good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you too. Yeah.
Jess seems like you're in a different location today, Jess.
I'm at home.
Oh, you're at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Different background from the usual.
Governor L. Montecillo, Rotary Club Rizal West. Welcome.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Shahul.
Welcome to our meeting.
Glad to be here. Good evening, President Dines.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Mark.
Oh, good evening.
Yes.
Wow, what an honor.
I think a number of our club members are going to be attending. Would like to listen to Dr. Shahul.
Lovely.
はい、録画したの後でもらいますので。
僕だけで。
桃瀬君の悪口言ったら聞こえる。
聞こえます、聞こえます。全員に聞こえます。
Hello, Irina.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Praveen. That's our perspective.
Hello, Praveen.
Hello.
Hello, Praveen. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening, President Dinesh.
Hello,
Hi, Mukund.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you.
Good evening. Good to see you all. Hello, Mr. Suresh.
Hi, Mukund.
Hi,
Hayden,
Hello.
are you there?
Welcome to Past District Governor Jimmy Kuraf. Hello. Rizal West, Philippines. Welcome, sir.
Good evening.
Yourself, sir.
Hi, Peter. I think Jimmy is still on mute.
BDG Jimmy, you're mute.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, Shahul, and all our dear friends in the Rotary Club of Singapore. Great to see you all.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Good evening. President Jamie, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Dinesh.
Raymond also sing 97 with the
Rotary Club of Surabaya is joining.
Cage training.
Hi, Gobal. Good evening. Good to see you here.
Good evening. I can see Kura. Thank you.
Earlier, who is he? Before this one.
So we still don't have the decision for the US elections yet, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
We are waiting for you.
It's a nail-biting thing.
For me to announce Trump wins.
Yeah.
No.
Idiot.
That is the reality, I think.
Yeah.
No.
It's very
He's very close to it. He's
Very close. It's nail-biting.
Still very far, Varun.
Yeah,
I think he's very far. I think he's very far. I agree.
Yeah, the number looks far, but reality.
238, 212.
Hey,
213.
Yeah.
No, but he still has 5 states. in his favor.
I think Pennsylvania is not yet done, right?
I think it's
Yeah,
done, right?
even if Pennsylvania is not in his favor, even then he's okay.
Shall we start, Bridget, at 7?
If President says yes, then we.
We'll give another 2 minutes. Let
Another
others
5
join.
minutes.
Yeah,
Because
because
the
others from
streaming,
outside are
live
joining.
streaming has started. Just wanted to, yeah.
I think we should start.
We have 56. Okay.
I'm ready to do the opening if
Somebody else joined.
That's-
Bharat.
that's
Hi,
what-
Bharat.
if I get the sign, I'm doing it.
I will tell you, Bridget.
Okay, thank you.
Another, we still can't see your picture. But your picture looks quite young.
Ah, well, that depicts me.
Must be a record turnout for our meeting since.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
we've been having
We
quite
had a
good.
record 65 already.
65.
No, but then I'm saying before
Oh,
before
Sukamal
7.
is there.
Before 7 o'clock.
Sukamal, how are you?
7 o'clock.
That's
Unmute
true,
yourself,
yeah.
please.
Yeah, we're getting some
Past
more.
president from Rotary Club of South Central, Calcutta. You have not unmuted yourself, Sukumal.
Hello.
Can't hear you.
Sukumal
Unmute
Chaudhary.
yourself,
Calcutta.
please.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think some more will
Calcutta,
come. Pramod
Metro
also is
South.
coming. Prabir will come.
Yeah. Calcutta Metro South. He's the past president.
Hi, PP Stan.
Hi,
Hello,
Stan. Good
hi.
evening.
Hello.
Hi, Stan.
Hello.
Hi, I'm on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good
Beta.
evening.
Why is Don Dominic? Ah, now you're better.
GB Wanda.
Hello.
Hello.
Yep,
We
good.
also have our friend, our past president Fred and president nominee Cookie with us
Oh, hi.
from the Rotary Club of Rizal West.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening. West, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, Bridget, we can start.
Okay, we can start. Okay, fine.
Hi, Sheila.
Then let's get started. It's just my turn again with.
Good evening.
Sorry, can I just sort of do a little bit of housekeeping? We all are very familiar now with being on Zoom, so please kindly mute yourself when you're not talking because noise can be very distracting for the one who's speaking. And I need to let you know that we are recording this meeting, and today, because of the great turnout, we are also streamlining it live on YouTube. So with dialing in, you're actually consenting to the recording. And if you want to chat, you see the chat function, chat with your fellow Rotarians, or sort of put a message to everyone. With this, I hand over for President Dinesh to formally open the meeting.
Thank you, Bridget. It's 7:04 p.m. Good evening, and I would like to call the meeting, 16th meeting of Rotary Club of Singapore to order. District Governor Raja Mohan, honorary members Bhagwan, Pak Mohan, PDG Ivor, and today we have Rotarians from many countries, from our sister clubs. I would like to recognize individually, but please treat that way. So we have PDGs, past presidents, immediate past presidents, honorary secretaries, Rotarian around the world, and our own fellow Rotarians, distinguished guests. Very warm welcome to our club meeting, which is 16th of this year. We have pretty good attendance, and it's going to be more. And I thank you all for joining us. And one of the reasons here is an attraction to our speaker. So I would like to warmly welcome our own past president, Dr. Shahul, who is going to be our speaker. He's also District Rotary Foundation Chair, so you will hear him a little later. And we are starting this is a month for Rotary Foundation, and I think that we have the right person to speak about the foundation. I would like to extend hearty welcome to a delegation from Japan, Rotary Club of Suita, North Osaka District 2260. All right, welcome President Yasushi-san, Oida-san, Ms. Fukus, and past President Ms. Kuniko. Thank you so much for attending our club meeting. Both RC Surita and RC Singapore, Rotary Club of our own Singapore, are sponsor for Global Grant Scholar Yuta Momose, whom I introduced in the last meeting, and he's also here. It is now my pleasure to call upon IC Chair Varun Gulati to raise the toast to Rotary Club of Suita, club with Rotary International. Varun, please.
Thank you, President Dinesh. President Dinesh, it is my pleasure today to raise a toast to the Rotary Club of Suita. It's in North Osaka District 2260, and it's definitely in Japan. And we also have, as you mentioned, that we also have a Rotarian who's our Rotary scholar, Yuta Momosa. So we welcome them. And can I ask Yuta, can you please help me translate this to our friends in Japan? And then we can raise a toast after this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I speak in Japanese. It's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. プレゼントとこの方から今回ご参加いただきまして本当にありがとうございますっていうところで言われました。はい、そこで簡単にお伝えさせていただければと思います。
Thank you. So, following Rotarians, please join me in a toast to the Rotary Club. President Dinesh, would you like to invite them to speak now, or should I raise the toast first?
First raise the toast.
First raise the toast. Okay. So, following Rotarian, fellow Rotarians, please join me in toast to the Rotary Club of Suita, coupled with a toast to Rotary International.
Suita.
Rotary Club of Suita and Rotary International.
Thank you, Varun. Now it's my pleasure to call upon President of RC Suita, Yasushi-san, to say a few words. And I would also ask Yuta Momoso to help President Yasushi in translation. President Yasushi-san, please.
はい。お願いします。今からが例の5分のやつです。はい。お願いします。
Firstly, today it is our great honor that for members from Suita Rotary in Osaka are honorably invited the Singapore Rotary's meeting. Thank you very much for inviting us. My name is Taniyashi, a president of Suita Rotary Club. We also have Mr. Yodoi, the past president of Suita Rotary in 2019 to 2020, and Ms. Tadaminani, the past president of Suita Rotary in 2018 to 2019, and Mr. Oeda, Suita Rotary's secretary this year. This year, Suita Rotary marks the 62nd anniversary. We have 57 members, and we work hard to achieve the mission of the Rotary Foundation. One of our main activities among many of our projects is World Community Service from the year of 2000. We have used district simplified grants and consistently supported Southeast Asian countries, mainly Myanmar and Cambodia 2 years ago. We collaborated with Yangon Rotary and utilized a scheme of global grant. Implemented a Dr. Car project for improving the medical service of Myanmar's local hospitals. This year, we will donate a medical refrigerator for the preservation of transfusion to a Cambodia local hospital. We got to know Mr. Momose, who is warmly accepted by the Singapore Rotary. When we had a world community service in Myanmar, while we worked together, we fully understood his willingness and determination to study public policy at the National University of Singapore. So we have recommended as a candidate for Rotary Global Grand Scholar to our 2660 district. Mr. Momose could successfully pass the district selection for a Global Grand Scholar, and now he is kindly welcomed by the Singapore Rotary. Mr. Momose always told us about Rotary Singapore's warm welcome and kind support for him. He really appreciates this too. Thank you very much. We really wish that your invitation to Singapore Rotary's regular meeting will be a great first step to start our future friendship and collaboration between two clubs. During COVID-19, it is quite difficult to travel between Japan and Singapore. But if there will be any chances to come to Osaka after COVID-19 is relaxed, it will be our great honor that some of your members will join in our meeting. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much, President Tanyes. And we will continue our collaboration with your club in future. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think we have fellow Rotarians coming from different parts of the world, and I will keep welcoming you. And I would like to welcome now all the Rotarians from Philippines, different clubs. Thank you very much for coming in. And thank you all our fellow Rotarians from India. I've seen many of you. Thank you very much. And also from Indonesia, from Bali and other parts of Indonesia. Thank you very much. And now I would like to share my screen. May I call upon our Honorary Secretary, Bridget, for secretarial announcements.
Yes, sure. Thank you, President. Only two announcements. One, tomorrow evening, Thursday, is the Community Service Committee meeting hosted by Director Irina, and the agenda and the Zoom link is already out in the Community Service Committee chat. And a more informal announcement, this coming Sunday, we are continuing our Jolly Walkers Sunday morning walk. Sort of watch out for the announcement. I think we are going up from Botanical Gardens to McRitchie, and on the way back we stop by PP Lipke's house. That's the preliminary plan. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Bridget. Now is birthdays. I think right today we have birthday of Moshood. Moshood, are you here or you are still in Nigeria? Okay, all right. And our honorary treasurer, Manish Tibrewal, 5th of November.
Yes, he is here. Happy birthday.
Okay, Manish is here. Happy birthday, Manish.
Thank you everyone.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Please join me in wishing happy birthday to both Rotarian Moshood and Rotarian Manish. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now some wedding anniversaries.
Oui.
I think November month is very busy with weddings, wedding anniversaries every week. Best wishes to our wedding anniversary celebrants, Terry and Glenn, 4th of November, that's today. Ronald and Joyce, 8th of November. Sean Philip and Valerie Leonard, 10th of November. And our newest Rotarian, Sudhir and Monica Tiku, also off for 10th of November. Please join me in wishing them very happy wedding anniversary to all of you. Thank you. And now we move to Kaifa. Know your fellow Rotarian. We have been having this program for many weeks now. And who is today? Oh, we all know him, but we would like to know more. It's past President Mark. Past PP Mark was our president in the year 2018 and 19. He joined the Rotary on 12th of March 2014. He's a true ambassador of our club. He has traveled extensively in the region, and I'm sure he has visited most of the clubs, sister clubs in many countries. He likes traveling. I don't know how is he in the restrictions of COVID-19. So it's my pleasure to give you Mark. Mark, please.
President, can you stop share your screen, please?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Let me get my screen coming. Okay, is my screen on?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's on mine.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
We tested it before. It should.
If I can see it, you can see it, right? No.
No, you need to click on share screen, Mr. Mark.
I did. Let me do
Share it.
Otherwise, I can do it if.
No, it will be. Okay, it's on my screen now, and I did click share screen. Is it on everybody's?
And you need to select the window. Once you click on share screen, you need to select the window of that presentation.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
We tested it before.
This window. Let me try again. Let me go back to the main Zoom screen and click share screen. Okay, now I go through this page. No?
Nope.
No, not it.
I think you need to have we tested it before and it worked.
No, what happened?
I don't know. I can do it for you, PP Mark.
How about now? No. Okay, please.
No, I do it.
And then back to the Zoom screen now.
You tell me.
Okay, I'll say a secret word like next.
Hello.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So here we are.
Yeah. So should I? Yes. Now should I announce?
So.
Okay, so you're looking at the first screen.
Yeah.
The comment is not on mine. Anyway, so the question is it where are you from on the screen now?
Yes. Can you not see it?
No, I can see it now. Okay. So basically, first of all, I do like to thank you and President Dinesh, and also greet all the honorary members and PDGs and governors that are here, and friends and Rotarians from overseas. So I'll talk a little bit about myself. The goal is to encourage more sharing of camaraderie, and then I can also learn more from all of you. So a common question I get, or everybody gets in Singapore, is where you're from. And that's because when I talk, my English is different, my Mandarin is different, Cantonese is different from Singaporeans. So obviously I need to, but the problem is when you have a question as where are you from, I gotta answer by what do you mean? Do you mean my hometown or next? Where am I born? Or do you mean where did I grow up? Or do you mean what's my nationality, what passport I hold? Or do you mean where do I live now? Because for me, next please, all are different. Go on, next. When you talk about hometown, you don't talk about I'm Chinese. You talk about, if you're Italian, you say I'm from Sicily, right? If you're American, you say I'm a Texan, not just any American. If you're a Brit, you say, hey, I'm from Welsh or something. So we do have to say where our hometown is. My hometown is Zhejiang. Zhejiang is one of the provinces in China. It probably means nothing to you, except that if you know the richest persons in China, in September, it changed hands 3 times. It changed hands from Jack Ma of Alibaba, whom we all know, to a group called Farmers Spring, to a group called Wahaha. But all 3 of them are from Zhejiang. So that's Zhejiang. I was born in Shanghai. My father and mother were natives, but then we all left in a hurry. Well, my father left because he was a congressman. When the revolution came, he left me to be born along with my mother. And then after that, she took both me and my brother to Hong Kong when I was a toddler. So I grew up in Hong Kong, although for 4 years, I did go back to China when my father passed away. So I did have part of my primary education in Hong Kong. Nationality, well, I lived and worked in US, so I ended up with a US passport. But to me, it's just a place to live because I now live in Singapore. I've been in Singapore since 1986, and it's the longest place I have lived. So that's where I am. I'm very global in that sense. So let's talk about my education, my career, and a little bit about my family. Well, education is when you're young, you learn about what things are, how do they work. So basically, I ended up in one of the science educations, which is mathematics. Then I said, whoa, wait a minute, how do you make decisions if you don't know what it's for? So I switched to economics, which is how to make decisions under constraints and with objectives and preferences. Then I say, wait a minute, but what for? Make money. So I went to business administration, that's my education, MBA, to make decisions for profit. Now, my education is a little unusual because I didn't have any money, my family didn't have any money. So all my tuition since middle school were on scholarship. And I went to US on a one-way airfare scholarship. And then I, of course, worked part-time and summer job. So one result is there were no home visit at all. No Christmas, no New Year, no Chinese New Year, not even summers. So I didn't go back to Hong Kong and see my mother for 7 years. So talk about studying overseas, that's what it comes down to. But of course, I'm not the only one. The others doing the same thing. And the other thing that may be interesting is because I work part-time, and my mother didn't come over to see me graduate, I didn't go to the convocation where you get your degree and wear a robe and throw your cap in the air. But I actually did go there because I was the janitor in school. So I went and set up the chairs and stage for my classmates, and then I went home to do other things. So I didn't go to my own commencement. And one of the jobs I was talking to Umka, it's a very interesting, the best part-time job I ever had was a lab mouse, you know, a white mouse that you use for experiment in the labs. These scientists wear white robes and they put up a note that they want somebody to test their product, their research, and they say it's safe. And I have to sign away all my liabilities, all my privileges. But the good thing is, in a job like that, of course you get paid, and you also get food. So you're not allowed to eat other food. So you save on money, and you just go and eat, and you don't waste your time at all. So it was a perfect job. Although I never knew what the test was all about, or were there any bad side effects. Next. One interesting thing I was talking to my friend Omkar was that I was lucky enough to be taught by 8 Nobel laureates. That may be a record around here. And I would say that the most famous one is actually Milton Friedman, economist. Although the one that first one was Paul Samuelson. And Paul Samuelson was the only one who got his Nobel Prize before he taught me. All the other 7, Robert Solow, Gary Becker, etc., all got their Nobel laureates after they taught me. I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but that's a fact. And there are a lot of investment bankers in this group. And you would know Black-Scholes option pricing formula. Right? Nobody knows how to calculate it, but they know the formula. So I did take a course from Marion Schultz. That was quite a privilege. But anyway, move on, please. Of course, I very soon found out that these people are too smart. I don't belong in academia. So I decided to go to work, you know, in the private sector. But since I was in the US, I started as an economist in the Illinois Department of Transportation, basically doing econometric model for demand estimation for a train line. You may have taken that train line. It's the express from downtown to O'Hare Airport. So I had a hand in not designing it, but justifying in terms of demand estimation. Then I said, well, wait a minute, I better go to a private sector. So I moved over to a private sector. I joined a company called Xerox, and I started in finance because my background seems to be economics, and so probably know how to do numbers. But then I decided that in the private sector, you got to move into several areas that I need. One is I got to be in high tech because that's where the growth is. Second is I got to be international because that's where my cultural background is. And thirdly, in order to move up, you got to be taking a line function. A line function for those of us who are, you know, corporate people is that the line that leads to presidency. So in some company, it's a factory, you know, it's supervisors. In some factories, in some company, it's marketing. In some company, it's even controller, but basically in most companies, it's sales. So I moved to sales. But I had to do it step by step. I went into strategic planning because I knew finance. I moved to sales because I knew how they were doing. And then I got a transfer to China and I started in Asia. Then I became sort of an expert or a specialization in running Asia Pacific operations. The most famous company that I work for, people may know about, is Oracle. I was the first employee of Oracle in Asia. So I was like 2 levels below Larry Ellison, but he was already a billionaire. And then after that, I changed jobs because if you're in sales, if you're good, you get recruited. If you're bad, you got fired. So I changed a lot of jobs, and I did show up in some annual reports in listed companies that I work for. But then the next step, of course, you move into private enterprise, partly because of my health. So that's where something broke loose. I started 5 private enterprises because I didn't know any better. But one of them is actually with our Rotarian, Ashish. Ashish, I met back then, and he had an idea. We worked together, one of the joint ventures we had, one of the partnerships we had. I also sat on 2 public boards, one in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, one in Singapore Stock Exchange. Of the 5 businesses that I started, 2 are still operating. One is outsourcing in Shanghai and Mexico. The other is gold exploration. So I didn't like Donald Trump because he wanted to build a wall in Mexico. So we can't do outsourcing, but I liked it because he pushed up the gold price. I also a member of the Hong Kong Business Association at Zhejiang, where my hometown was, Enterprise. So that keeps me busy in the business world, even though I'm retired. So now let's talk about family. So this is, of course, a young Tracy, a young Mark, and young Wanda. Next. Tracy, of course, is my wife. She comes to some of our functions. Next. And we also have, some dinners together. Next. Also, our spouses. These are 2 of them. And then she also attends Inner Wheel. Next. Anyway, this is her attending Inner Wheel. I believe probably at Kavita's home. This is Wanda. Wanda is my only daughter. She works as a editor with Platts, which covers the oil and shipping market, but she loves animals. So this is one of them. And the next one, next. But really, she's also in charity. She's with RDA, Writing for the Disabled, which is the worldwide president is Princess Anne. So she's met Princess Anne, I haven't. Next. Okay, Rotary. What do I like about Rotary? As I said many times before, I like it because I have an instant family of like-minded friends. Rotary is respected with its tradition and organization, so there's no funny business. The 4-way test is great, and the Guide to Daily Living you can use over and it's time tested. And then the projects are really meaningful because it's not just money, it's service above self. So next, please. So my Rotary Path actually started when I joined a Myanmar field trip in December. I didn't even know it was a Rotary trip. I happened to be the girlfriend whose wife is the wife of a church friend of the wife of our PP, Peter Dan. Peter is here, right? Thank you. So there was, and then what happened on the trip? I met Philbert, I met Jasper, who's also here, and others. And then I joined Rotary, as the president said, March 12, 2014. So my Rotary journey, during that time, I guess my claim to doing something useful is I organized the Minority Vocational School Project in China for 4 years in a row. This is to help the group that's left behind in China to get education vocationally so that they become skilled labor and not non-skilled labor. Along the way, we partner RC Shanghai and RC Chengdu, and many of us have gone on the trip, right? I think Jasper and others were on that trip. And Daniel is also on that trip. I also very early became drafted onto the board because I became ISC chair, which is a board member. Then I became PE, then I became president, then I became IPP. So I served on the board for 4 years in a row, which is a little bit earlier than I planned, but that's fine. And then along the way, I became a major donor without knowing it. Because when you're president, they ask you to chip in here, there, so all of a sudden you're a major donor. So I'm a stealth major donor. But basically, as Dinesh said, I'm known for traveling. Overseas Rotary clubs, compared with a lot of banner, district conferences, seminars, Mandarin conferences, RI conventions, sister clubs, and of course, a lot of projects. So that's my Rotary journey. And let me go on with a few photos. So as president, I try to respect tradition and start a democratic process for decision, but there may or may not have worked. So this is a person that everybody should know, and I'm known for looking like him. So I went to his club and somebody called me Gary. So I said, wait a minute, I'm a head taller than he. But this is Gary, our past president. I catch him in Hamburg, I catch him in Mandarin Conference, I catch him in District Assembly. Keep going, please. Click. Yeah. And oh, I caught him in all three centennials last year in Philippines. But of course, Gary has better things to do. So Gary is, of course, honoring our own honorary member, Mohan. That's what Gary really did. Okay, as president, of course, I presided a year. And what I got out of it is I lost 12 kg. And actually, I lost one eye because of my retina detachment is coming back a little bit. On the right is the picture that I'm very proud of. I didn't win anything. I didn't get the bouquet, but I got to escort Rachel Wong, who was the winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year, down the stairs, holding her bouquet and her arm because she was wearing very, very high heels. Next. But other than that, they probably know me for singing a lot. And not that I'm a very good singer, but I'm just a good sport. When I say sing, I say sing. But really, there are a lot of activities. You know, this is opening in of a hospital in India. I went to India 4 years in a row. Next. Okay, sister clubs. I think Horst last time mentioned, we went to Taipei and we signed agreements and worked with them. This is the Rotary Club of Taipei. Next. And of course, you get a lot of awards, mostly for the club. I used to get them not just one at a time, but a whole stack, because you're tired of Rotary Club Singapore president going up and down stage. So that's pretty much what I did. If I had a little time, I just say personal a little bit, go back. I enjoy music. I like movies. I like books. I love games. I play sports. But what I like most is chit chat. Actually, I put down the word intercourse. Intercourse as in conversation. But then basically, I like to talk to everybody. So do call me up and I'll like to learn from you and share things with you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Awesome.
Thank you. You unmute me, you know, without my knowing. All right. Once again, I think many of our guests are joining us, and I would like to now welcome all Rotarians from Malaysia. I think we have hit the 100, and we are streaming this meeting live on YouTube, and a number of our guests are joining on YouTube now. So let's go on. As I said earlier, November is Rotary Foundation month. Many of us would like to know more about Rotary Foundation, where our money goes, how effectively it is used, where we can contribute. Really, we need to know more. Our club leads both in contribution and also carrying out global grant projects. We start the month having a speaker who is becoming icon in global grants, end-to-end process, and now he is District Rotary Foundation Chair, Dr. Shahul. We are all waiting for, and he will be speaking RC Singapore, the Rotary Foundation, doing good in the world. But before I call him, it's my pleasure to call upon past President Paliat Mohandas to introduce our speaker. PP Mohan, please.
Thank you, President Dinesh, fellow Rotarians, distinguished guests from all over the world. It's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Shahul Hamid, our past president. Dr. Shahul Hamid doesn't need much introduction, particularly in this area. However, let me just go through his bio. Dr. Shahul Hamid joined Rotary Club of Singapore 25 years ago and served as club president during Rotary year 2013-14. He's a dentist by profession and runs a group dental practice in Singapore. Dr. Shahul is an adjunct senior lecturer with the Faculty of Dentistry, National University of Singapore, council member with the Singapore Dental Council, and member of the panel of advisors for the Family Justice Courts, Republic of Singapore. He is active in his own profession. He was organizing chair of Asia Pacific for the Dental Federation Conference in Singapore in 2015. He was also the youngest president in the Federation's history. Dr. Shahul is currently the District Rotary Foundation Chair, DRFC, otherwise known as for District 3310, first non-PDG, first non-past district governor to assume this post in District 3310. In the past 6 years, he has also served as district grants, stewardships, scholarship, district international service chair for District 3310. He's also an appointed member of the Rotary Foundation's cadre of technical advisors from 2017 until 2023. Dr. Shahul's current interest is leveraging on the Rotary Global Grants for community projects and missions. To date, he has assisted RC Singapore, District 3310, and clubs in the region on the application of more than 120 global grants. As of today, RC Singapore itself already has 90 global grants which have been approved. It is to be noted that in Dr. Shahul's year as president of our club, he initiated an unprecedented number of global grants. In recognition for his contributions to the community and for his work with global grants, Dr. Shahul has been conferred honorary memberships in 9 Rotary clubs around the world. 3 in Indonesia, Rotary Clubs of Surabaya, Malang Central, and Rotary Club of Batu. 5 in India, Rotary Club of Purulia, Rotary Club of Hooghly, Rotary Club of Midnapur, Rotary Club of Murshidabad, Rotary Club of Dongkal, Murshidabad, and 1 in the Philippines, Rotary Club of Rizal West. I know that many of these clubs are represented today at our meeting, and thank you for coming. As a most sought after speaker throughout the Rotary world on Rotary Foundation matters, he's also an invited speaker for Rotary Foundation seminars for Rotary regions, zones, districts, and clubs in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, Philippines, Nigeria, and India. Come February 2021, Dr. Shahul will have a unique honor. He will be featured as one of the speakers at Rotary International Convention's plenary session for all incoming district governors throughout the world, that is. And he will speak on the Rotary Foundation. Dr. Shahul is a recipient of Rotary's highest award, Service Above Self Award. Remember that this award is given only to 1 Rotarian in each district each year. And he was a winner of that a few years ago. Rotary Foundation's Citation for Meritorious Service Award and the Republic of Singapore's Public Service Medal. And thank you very much, Dr. Shahul. And let us see what he has to say about Rotary Foundation and doing good in the world.
Thank you, Past President Mohan. Now it's my pleasure, fellow Rotarians and guests, and I give you Past President Dr. Shahul.
Thank you very much, Governor Raja Mohan. He's here, I understand. Thank you for being here. President Dinesh, all distinguished Rotarians and guests, thank you very much for the nice introduction, Past President Mohan. I have to know that Past President Mohan is one of my teachers right in the beginning, back when I wasn't even the president yet, when I was the president-elect. So thank you very much, PP Mohan, for being so unflappable and for helping the club all the way until now. Truly appreciate all the work that you've done for the club.
Thank you.
I've been asked to talk about a topic which is very dear to me, about a Rotary Foundation. The first thing that I want to share with all of us here is that the Rotary Foundation is a charitable arm of Rotary International. I always like to start my presentation with that because sometimes there's some confusion in the minds of some of our Rotarians that Rotary International and Rotary Foundation is one single body. It is not. The foundation has its own trust and its own trustees and its own chair, and it makes its own decisions and it has its own set of accounts. and it does not depend on subscription that you pay or the district pay or your club pay for you. That goes to Rotary International. Now, some of the things that has been done, the Rotary Foundation is not only known for its work with global grants, but it's also known for its work in polio eradication. I think there was a lot of information and highlights about polio when we had our World Polio Day on the 24th of October. It's also involved in educational grants for peace scholars, for scholars like Yuta Momose, for example, who's here on educational grants through the global grants. And of course, it's well known mostly for its humanitarian grants, of which I'm here to talk to you about. The humanitarian grants that are concerned here is what we call global grants. And global grants itself, for those who are here and hearing this for the first time, comes in different aspects. We can do it as a vocational training, we can do it as a scholarship grant, but mostly what we do is the humanitarian grant that we know as the approved global grants. The mission of Rotary Foundation is simple: doing good in the world. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's a very noble mission. It is something that we always refer to whenever we talk about the Rotary Foundation. And of course, the vision is to make the world a better place. I'd just like to give you a summary of what our club has done over the years since 2013. The 1st July 2013 was when this global grant system was completely overwhelmed, completely changed from the previous matching grant system. And it has continued as it is very, very successfully for the past 7 years. So we've been involved in about 90 grants that have already been approved. Later you will see there are some more grants which are currently in the draft stage. And we have 6 grants which have already been submitted waiting for approval. We have our presence in 14 different countries, and the project value for all our 90 approved grants is about $6.5 million. How do we do it? How did we do it? It's through all the generosity of all our members in our club, and as well as all the friends of the Rotary Club of Singapore and all the partner clubs, and a number of you are present today, and I'll take this opportunity to thank you as well. Now, again, a background, the Rotary Club and Rotary Foundation are encouraged to do projects in these 6 areas of focus. It is a broad enough focus, and all our projects, as far as global grants are concerned, has to fall within these 6 areas of focus. Now, what do we mean by a global grant? The first thing that we have to remember is that the global grant needs a minimum budget of $30,000 US. Now, it can be a bit challenging if your projects are small, but you need to scale. The reason is because there are a lot of work that's being involved. The approval takes pretty exhaustive reviews before it's approved. But the reason is very simple. If you are the guardian of $1 billion in TRF, the Rotary Foundation, you will be just as exhaustive when it comes to approval of any grants. But the basic principle remains the same. Identify a vulnerable population. It can be anywhere. Doesn't matter whether it's in Singapore, it's in the US, it's in Indonesia, Philippines, wherever you go, there will be a vulnerable population. About prisoners, we're talking about ex-prisoners, we are talking about disabled children, we're talking about the elderly, and these are the vulnerable population within our midst. All right, you must include some training elements. The reason is because giving gifts itself, whether it's chairs, tables, or books, doesn't make the project sustainable. And you must also aim for lifelong skills. You got to teach the beneficiaries something that they cannot sell the next day or the next week or the next month, something that can stay with them for as long as possible. And with all this, you have to make it sustainable. And sustainable means when the money runs out, when you leave the country, when you leave the project site, the benefits of the project will still continue. Let me take you on a journey. Just sit back. Let me take you on a journey of what our club used to do in the 40s and 50s and the 60s. This is a newspaper article of a Rotary tuberculosis clinic that was mooted by our club in 1948 and covered extensively by the press. Our club raised quite a bit of money, and the clinic was known as a Rotary TB clinic at that time. We were also involved in the purchase of a Rotary mobile dispensary at that time in the 40s, where this mobile dispensary actually went to the areas which are more remote, away from the city, to the villages, to provide help and really much needed medicine to the people in the villages. And this is a picture in the 50s. You may recognize our past member, PDG Arthur Tevatesan. And this is in the opening of a school that the club, our Rotary Club of Singapore, sponsored back in 1955. And we're also involved in building of another school, a school for lepers, and this is 1952. And we were also involved in the adoption of a village in Jurong. A Jurong village was adopted by our club, and it provided clean water, it provided education for the people there. And not too long ago, fellow Rotarians, this is 1965, not too long ago, you can feel a whole hall of polio victims in Singapore. And this is a picture of in Singapore. You see our past member, past district governor there. All right. And this lady is actually the wife of our first president. And this was in celebration of Malaysia Day in 1965. And we could feel the whole hall with polio victims in Singapore. Fast forward to now. The landscape has changed tremendously. We are very fortunate in Singapore that we are able to afford all the basic necessities in life. We have a fairly good quality of life. But look at these ladies who are sitting in this tent. What is the meaning of quality of life if you cannot see? The Rotary Club of Singapore has been active in the eradication of avoidable blindness for many years, even before 2013, even before Global Grant. But the Global Grant system in 2013 actually was a game changer for our club. And let me share with you why. In 2013, a group of us was invited to visit Odisha in Bhubaneswar, India. And we went there to visit what was known at that time was the Rotary Eye Hospital. It was a very interesting concept for us because prior to that, our club has been involved in doing medical camps and eye camps where eye surgeries are done in remote areas outside the hospital setting. And when the Indian government subsequently banned the running of eye camps outside the hospital setting, there was a big rush, there was a big effort by Rotary itself to set up Rotary eye hospitals that can fill this vacuum. And this meeting, for those of you who can identify yourself in here, I can see Suresh, Tapan, and Jimmy here. To me, this was a real game changer. The gentleman on the extreme left was the district governor at that time. And just before this photo was taken, he was on a podium telling us in a very hurried tone, very excited. And he says, Rotary Club of Singapore members, give me $25,000 and I'll give you a Rotary Eye Hospital. I couldn't believe what he was saying. I thought I must have heard it wrongly. And I said, Tapan, Suresh, let's talk to him. And he repeated the same claim. He says, Dr. Shahul, Rotary Club of Singapore, you give me $25,000, we will do a global grant and we will have a Rotary Club of Singapore Eye Hospital. And he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding because a year later, the building was up and we were really, really proud to know that we have a Rotary Eye Hospital in the state of Odisha in Bhubaneswar. And the hospital has been treating 2,000 to 3,000 patients, correcting eye vision problems, doing intraoral ocular surgery, providing free lenses to the people. And it is a place that all our Rotarians who visit East India and Northeast India have to visit because it's a place where our first Rotary Eye Hospital was built. And we've continued to support this through our global grants, be it equipment, be it training, be it setup of community outreach posts, be it the training of staff and nurses, and of course, the provision of free surgeries. And we're really proud that whenever we visit that place, we must take a photo outside the room that says Rotary Club of Singapore Ward. It's a matter of pride for us. And many thanks to Rotary Club Bhubaneswar Royal. And in this picture, you have our immediate past district governor, Debashish, who's our main contact there and really a great help. So this continued in Calcutta, in West Bengal area, where we have a great understanding with Rotary clubs in West Bengal. So this is a project with the Joynagar Eye Hospital with the Rotary Club of Central Calcutta. We supplied equipment and we supplied intraoral lens as well as sponsored the surgeries. And we're also very proud to be associated with another hospital. When we first visited the hospital, the Hooghly Eye Hospital, we had a working relationship with the Rotary Club of Hooghly. And together with our partners in India and all over the world, we were proud to visit the new Rotary Eye Hospital that opened soon after 2013 with the help of the global grants. And this, fellow Rotarians, is another site that we must always visit whenever we go to India. But it goes on. We didn't stop there. We didn't stop there. Whenever we get approached to do projects in India, we always say yes, because the eradication of avoidable blindness is something that we feel very strongly. And I must say, this is a picture of past President Allen doing the works for the joint project for the Specialty Eye Care Center, what I think one of the most vibrant clubs in West Bengal, the Rotary Club of Purulia. I know some of them are here. Guys, thank you for all the work. And this was just last year, a group of us visited the same center, and we are very proud to see how well it's run. We are very proud to see how busy the whole place was, and we gave our thanks to all the Rotarians in Rotary Club of Purulia. We had more opportunities. We had more opportunities to go to the state of Bihar, one of the poorest states in the whole of India, where we set up not one, but 2 Rotary Eye Hospitals. Here you have past President Gary in the Rotary Club of Singapore Eye Hospital in Buxa. And, sorry. And then we have another Rotary Eye Hospital in Aurangabad. As you can see a picture here of Gary with RI President-elect, who was, of course, the RI Director at that time, Shekhar Mehta, in February 2017. We also moved on to another hospital that we worked really hard with in Odisha itself, the Rotary Club of Cuttack. We provided equipment and again, the sponsor of eye surgeries. But we know something, there's something that we here, even in Rotary Club of Singapore, we know that we have our limits, and we decided to engage some other Rotary clubs in our district, namely Rotary Club of Bugis Junction. And I'm pleased to say that in 2 years ago, the Rotary Club of Bugis Junction established their own eye hospital in Jaipur, in the state of Odisha itself. Other than India, we managed to work with a club in Nigeria to set up what is known as the first Rotary Eye Hospital in Africa. The model was replicated from the projects that we had in India. And this was the culmination of the project where we visited. As you can see, this is a brand new spanking operating theater. It's supposed to be 3 theaters. The partitions are not up yet. So you can see our Honorary Treasurer Manish, as well as our Honorary Member Mohan Vaswani inspecting the facilities. And it's nice to see the whole building coming up from what it was and to a spanking new building. So how did it work? How does it work? It's easy, fellow Rotarians. The land is donated. The Rotary Club, the Rotary Clubs, and the Rotary Global Grants do not pay for the land. The Rotary Clubs and the Rotary Global Grants do not pay for the building. But the clubs and the Rotary Foundation and the Global Grants will pay for the equipment, will pay for the fittings, will pay for the training, and will pay for the surgeries. So as a summary, we also, before that, we also did some projects in our district. And this is a global grant that we did with the Rotary Club of Likas Bay in Sabah. So in summary, you can see our club has been involved with about 25,000 intraoral surgeries, including glaucoma cases, pediatric cases, equipment, eyeglasses, to the tune of about 1.5 million US dollars. The children, fellow Rotarians, the children is our future. The children are our future. Whether it comes to education, whether it comes to their health, we are very much involved in children's projects all over the world and through our global grant system. This is a project to supply school-going items to 1,250 school children in Indonesia through our Rotary Clubs of Malang, Central, as well as Rotary Club of Batu, and of course, Rotary Club of Surabaya as well. Some of you are here, so thank you very much for being such great partners and for allowing us to participate in projects there. This project has been going on for years. Through the global grants, we have managed to upskill the whole project from helping a few hundred children to helping a few thousand children. And not only that, we are also involved with the helping of same children who are not able. And this is a project that we've done a couple of times in an orphanage in East Java in Indonesia, where you provide different types of therapy for the disabled children in the orphanage. In Malaysia, Rotary Club of Kuala Lumpur Diraja, who's our sister club. I think they must be very proud of this project. Took years in the making, but right now, no trip to Kuala Lumpur is complete for any Rotarians from our club if you don't visit the children's home, the BRDB Rotary Children's Home in Kuala Lumpur. So this home was partly furnished with a Rotary Global Grant, and our club, together with Rotary Club Makati, are very happy to be part of this project as well. Vietnam. This is in Quang Tri province. This is the province is currently battling the floods. We sponsored through a global grant classroom libraries to all the primary schools in the province. Here we work together with Rotary Club of Marina City, and this is one of our visits there. You can see the children interacting with the Rotarians. The children in India, we've seen the help that we've given. We have to recognize the Rotary Club of Calcutta Metro South. This is their pet project. And this is the school, the village school, a few hours away from central Calcutta, where the children would study here. You can see that no chairs and table, they sit on the floor. Can you imagine, fellow Rotarians, what happened in the monsoon season? What happened in the monsoon season? Classes are disrupted. Through the cooperation with Rotary clubs in and district in Taiwan and the Rotary Club of Singapore, we're happy to report that we are able, together with the Rotary Club of Calcutta Metro South and the Indian clubs, come up with a brand new building for the school. But the work is not done. While we are all happy to visit the school, to witness the inauguration, and the children, you can see, have a proper classroom to attend to, the demand and the work is still there. The need is still there. We still need to feed the children. We still need to clothe the children. We still need to pay for their school fees. We still need to give them an education. So the work of Rotary and Global Grants is not ending anytime soon. Other than helping the students, we are also focusing on increasing the capacity of the teachers through our global grants. So here you see a project where past President Pelita was inaugurating the teachers training program in Indonesia. And the health of the children is something that we feel very strongly as well. Rotary Club of Belur, some of them are here. They've gone 2 projects where they treated pediatric children who need heart surgeries in India, as well as children from overseas, from Bangladesh and from Afghanistan, who need similar treatment but couldn't afford it. The children will be sponsored to fly in to Calcutta, and the treatment and the stay will be provided by the grant. I'm also very happy to be part of a small part of a big project with the Rotary Club of Shanghai, with the Gift of Life project, where they do similar pediatric surgeries for those who are in need in the Shanghai area. What happens in Singapore? Like I mentioned earlier in my talk, there are vulnerable people in Singapore as well. Thanks to Rotarian James Lee, this is his favorite project where he was the primary contact. We did an interesting project that has not been tested before. This is a private partnership that the Singapore prisons agreed to do, where we bring trainers from outside the Singapore prison service for second-time drug offenders. Why second-time drug offenders? The rate of offending in Singapore is low. We all know that. But the rate of reoffending is the same, it's high. So research has shown that second-time drug offenders are the best for rehabilitation. So the Architects of Life program, sponsored by the Global Grant System, help to equip and empower these youth at risk while they are still incarcerated, while they are still in the prison service. And some of you may remember that we had the privilege of being invited in to the Singapore Prison Service and to sit in during this program within the prison service to enable us to witness firsthand how this project is being done. Now, we're also involved in other projects for youth offenders. So this is a project for mentoring youth offenders, where we train the mentors. This is a handbook done together with Rotary Club of Singapore, as well as our partner Rotary Club Bhubaneswar Royal. Credit to Rotarian Andy and Rotarian Hassan Musa and past President Alan for the hard work for this project. And another project that we work with at-risk youth is a Football Plus project, where we merge soccer, football with life skills and how to say no. And we work together with different agencies to make sure that we can identify this at-risk youth, bring them in to inculcate values together with sports. And again, a pet project of Rotarian James Lee, as well as past President Keith Harrison. What about mental wellness? What about mental health? You hear so many stories going on. Fellow Rotarians, I'm sad to say that the #1 cause of death for youth in Singapore from 15 to 25 is suicide. Every week, 2 young persons in this age group would have committed suicide. So our club is focusing some work on mental health wellness, and we are also we are also aware of the fact that people with mental health problems do not necessarily recover completely. If you're not well, we all know we have the best facilities in Singapore. You can stay for a week, a month, 2 months, 6 months. We have the facilities for that. When you're well, thank you very much, please go home. But what happens for those who are suffering from mental illness? Do they fully recover? Families are sometimes on edge, not knowing when problems may occur. So our project, known as Club Heal, where we work with an organization that acts as a midway, a halfway house for those who are recovering from mental illness. Our first global grant. Now, water and sanitation is something really big as well, and it affects the children. Half the world's population of primary school in developing countries have no access to clean water. A project in Philippines, in Vigan, a project in Colombo, a big project in India, as you can see here with the toilet complex. Another project in Surabaya Timur with the Rotary Club of Surabaya Timur, where we provide water to homes. And another signature project in Cirebon, the picture on top in Indonesia, and the lower picture is a picture of our water project in Vietnam, in central Vietnam, in the province of Hue. Children all over the world can sometimes be disadvantaged in the developing world. We've got a number of big projects going on to sponsor HPV vaccination to prevent cervical cancer for girls between the age of 9 and 14. These are 2 pictures of our projects in India as well as in Lagos, Nigeria. And another project that we are really, really big on is the LIMB project, together with Polaram Group in Nigeria through our honorary member, Mohan Vaswani. Thank you very much for all the help you've given us. All right, so this is our pet projects. It's really heartbreaking to see young children without limbs. They are already so advantaged in a very disadvantaged country, and yet they need help all the time. If you look at all these young kids, can you imagine how many times they need their limbs to be changed? They can't even afford the first one. They can't even afford the first one. How can they afford another one 2 years later? So Rotary, through global grants, Rotary Club of Singapore, Rotary Club of Lagos Island, and Rotary Club of Victoria Garden City sponsored 3,000 limbs to be given free of charge to the children, to the adults, to those who are in need. The work doesn't stop. We are in collaboration with the Rotary Club in Chennai to sponsor a Children's Cerebral Palsy Center. This was approved, as you can see, during the circuit breaker time. COVID-19 is raging still raging in India. So these projects are still being on hold, not launched yet. And it's another project in the hometown of our past president, Mohandas, in Kerala, physiotherapy equipment for special needs children in Payanur, Kerala. So together, we put together projects affecting youth and sanitation, 37 global grants to the tune of $3.14 million. Now, a livelihood program. This is another aspect that we feel very strongly about in Rotary. Why? Because if you are able to train a skill, you're able to help them to help themselves, that itself is an achievement for those who are really in need. So this is a chicken rearing project in Vietnam, where we help those families who have family members who are disabled. We get them started on 150 chicks and supply them with the necessary antibiotics, training, and materials that's needed to raise the chickens. And we help them with the sale of the chicken as well. And we help them with the purchase of the next round of chicken as well. So this keeps them going and give them a sense of identity, a sense of pride in making their own money. First earthquake in Nepal, we were involved in 3 global grant projects for livelihood. The top one you can see this through organic farming, and the bottom one is through animal husbandry. And the projects are not really just post-disasters. We are also looking at certain areas. We were approached by the Rotary Club of Taiwan, the Taipei, which is our sister club, Gary Huang's club. And we did this project that was approved last year. It's for the training of tea masters. Apparently the need is there, where there's a view that some of these skills might be lost, right? So it's something that we want to protect as well. So other than these projects, we are still very active in other things: hospital equipment, community health centers, dialysis centers, ambulances, diseases for the elderly, dementia, urology diseases. So these are all the different projects that we have to the tune of about 900,000 US dollars. Now, COVID-19. COVID-19 is something really, really big. I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but I'm going to finish in about 5-6 minutes, right? Now, COVID-19 is something that's really, really big. And this newspaper article came in, and we saw the problems that we're having in Madhya Pradesh, especially in the city of Indore. It took us just 2 weeks from application to getting the money to distributing the supplies. This is something that I must take my hat off to TRF. For those of you who know me long enough, you know that sometimes I'm very, very critical of TRF when it comes to inefficiencies. But for this, for COVID-19, we really must give them the credit. Some of you was with us when this was launched, the money that was used, and credit to Rotary District 3040, DRFC Dr. Zamin. He was really working so hard, and I was fortunate because it was COVID, it was circuit breaker time, and had enough time, plenty of time, in fact, to work on the grant. And this was recognized in one of the publications in Rotary International. Rotary Club of Belur, I know some of you are here. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Within a short period of time, the grant was put together, and you see the numbers of masks, the numbers of PPEs, the number of face shield that was distributed. Fantastic. Past District Governor and past DRFC, Ravi Segal's on the right, and great work by him. And we are always very thankful for his club, which is also our sister club, for giving us this opportunity. Request came in from Pune. Rotary Club of Pune West went ahead, did another COVID-19 project. Sister club, Rotary Club of Moa. This is the distribution of ventilators in the Moa Hospital. I know Dr. Senthil may be still here with us, so thank you, Dr. Senthil, for giving us the opportunity. And in Indonesia as well, where 10,000 PCR test kits were distributed very recently through the work with District 3410 and DRSC Eva Kurniati. Singapore. It's not complete if we don't do a project in Singapore for COVID-19, right? So when the numbers kept increasing in Singapore, a few of us came together. We did a global grant project together to the tune of 130,000 US dollars. So in this project, you can see honorary member testing out, looking at the face shield. And this is a factory in Singapore, and we donated 18,000 face shield and 2,000 high-level surgical gowns, as well as a number of reusable masks. So you can see President Dinesh here testing out the face shield. And this is the reusable mask that we are looking at, and we are distributing 30,000 of this to the community. I'm glad to say that the last number 90 global grant that was approved is from our sister club in Rotary Club Kawayan in Isabela, Philippines, for the purchase of the PCR machine for COVID-19. So congratulations, RC Kawayan. And altogether, we've been involved with 15 global grants for the COVID-19 pandemic, and this to the tune of almost $1 million. Our work is not done here. We have a number of projects on hold, awaiting approval. 2 in Brazil for our 2 new Rotarians who join us here. Thank you, Luis and Camille. Thank you very much for being the link point between Singapore and Brazil. We are working to do 2 global grants in Brazil, and 1 more global grant with Rotary Club Rizal West is pending for COVID-19. So in Rotary Foundation, we talk about the 3 things. We want to raise awareness. We want to raise funds, of course, so that we can do good in the world. So let me answer the question. I've been asked so many times, why do we donate? What do I get out of it? What can I see? Let me give you some visual. For $10 US, with the matching from Rotary Foundation, you can feed 28 of these children, 28. For $50 US, after the matching from Rotary Foundation, you can give and restore vision to these 2 elderly patients. For $7 US, you can put 1 child to school, either in Indonesia or in Nigeria. And these are real examples. $100 US will pay for each 8 vaccinations. That's for 4 children, 2 doses each. And this is the same, whether it's in India or it's in Nigeria. What about giving limbs? How much do you think this boy needs to have both his limbs restored? You work with this organization called LN4 project. The limbs are free. The limbs are free, but it still costs about $50 to fix the limb. Have you ever thought about riding a bicycle with one hand? Have you ever tried rolling a rolling pin with one hand? Have you ever done a lot of things with one hand? You'll miss it. All right. So, fellow Rotarians, we need you to think about this. What about $100 for this man to walk again? These are the things that we will do, and Rotary Foundation will match so that your money can be stretched. These three gentlemen, if you look very carefully, all three of them are beneficiaries of our limb projects. And we asked these three to be the guests of our special launch for round 2 of our global grant in Nigeria a couple of years ago. So there was a question from the press. What do you feel about getting a new limb? What do you feel about getting this? How do you feel about it? What do you feel about it? He says, thank you very much. And we're all expecting the answer. Thank you very much so that I can walk again. He didn't say that, fellow Rotarians. He says, thank you very much, Rotary, for giving me back my dignity. $100 for human dignity. This is another true story. After this picture was taken, the father tapped me on the shoulder and said, sir, can I take a photo of you and your friends? I said, sure. So we took a photo and he says, sir, you know why I'm taking the photo? He says, I want to show my daughter, this is the Rotarians who give her the future. Because the little girl was born blinded on both eyes, and there's no way the parents could afford it, right? And that's the cost of restoring vision. That's what we think. But to the father, to the mother, it's a child's future. And $1,000 to sponsor a life. So fellow Rotarians, we're not asking for money, right? We're asking you to invest in humanity. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? This gentleman, past President Ravi Shankar, when he became president on 1st July 2018, he made a shocking announcement. He donated $14.7 million. That's 80% of his wealth. So the press asked him, why are you giving away 80% of your money? He says when he was growing up poor. He had to ask help from his neighbors for food. He says nobody ever turned him down. So he says, to me, I'm not giving my money away. I'm giving my money back to society, right? So Rotary Foundation is a system where they want every Rotarian to support the foundation every year. It's a commitment as a Rotarian, it's a commitment to support your own foundation. And so it's like they say, better to give than to receive. So let's share your treasures. There are many ways to do that. You can contribute $50 a month. You can contribute $50 a year. You can contribute $100 a year. You can contribute $1,000 a year. But this is a commitment that you make as a Rotarian to support all the projects that I've shown you. Or if you are thinking of leaving something behind or thinking of leaving a legacy behind, you can set up an endowment fund where the capital sum is not used at all, but the interest is used to support all the projects that I've shown you. So just have a look at this boy. When I first met him, I thought he looks a bit small for a 6-year-old. He looks more like he's 3 or 4 years old. The reason is because he's undernourished. Budi is undernourished. And something very interesting, he hardly blinked, he hardly smiled, he hardly reacted to anything until I was told he's hearing impaired. Right? Projects like Rotary and Global Grant can help a child like this, already disadvantaged by circumstances beyond his control. So fellow Rotarians, I hope you'll join us. Hold hands so that we can do more projects. I think we can, I'm sure we can do more than 90 projects in the next 5 to 7 years with all your help. Projects are there, just waiting. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Dr.
Well,
Shahul.
Awesome.
That was a very good one, Dr.
You
Shahul.
make us, today you make every one of us proud to be a Rotarian.
Yeah.
Proud to be the member of Rotary Club of Singapore, to make proud, everyone present here. You made us emotional. We can see what our contribution can do to the humanity, to the community. You have created awareness. And I think we have to do your part 2 and part 3, continue to do it. And today, I'm setting a target that every member of our club will be EREY, every Rotarian every year. So this will be done, and I ask every Rotarian. I don't think I will have to ask after seeing the presentation from Dr. Shahul. Well, I will not take much of your time, so I'll pass it on to Bridget to coordinate questions and answers, Q&A. If there are any questions, we don't have much time, but we can allow 1 or 2 questions.
That's a tough task, because I think we're all in awe and overwhelmed what we saw. And I think one thing which we notice is a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. I think that is it was very, very sort of impressive. It's probably not the right word, but really, I mean, we almost felt that we are there with the people who were involved in the project, and we could see the beneficiaries, if that makes sense. So yes, is there any question? For now, you have the chance to ask the master of global grants, as we have him with us. Yes, please come forward. I don't see anything in the chat. It's just everybody congratulating Dr. Shahul for this wonderful presentation. So
there is one hand raised by Sukamal Chaudhary, if you want.
Yeah, but I don't know how that was already before, so it wasn't a question, I think.
Okay.
Sure. So let me just. Oops. I can't.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure. Varun, go ahead, please.
Dr. Shahul, thank you so much for this great presentation. And I think it gives us, of course, there's some of the projects that I've been to and we already know, but of course it gives a lot of our new Rotarians, let's say, a bird eye view or details about what we have done and how a Rotary Club should actually go about projects. Now we are in the situation of COVID, and of course, I'm the director of ISC, and we're not able to travel. And I see definitely that going forward, the face of projects will change slightly, because we really may not be able to travel to a few places, and we just have to decide on things at a distance, and from sitting in Singapore, decide about in India or any other places where we trust our fellow Rotarians, and then we do our bit. So what are your views on it, and how do you think that this will, what will be the way in future to do this, if there's any change?
Okay, as far as new projects are concerned, it's actually the reverse. We are extremely busy now. All the Rotarians all over the world have more time to actually plan for projects. And the mentality is fantastic. Let's plan it. Let's get everything ready so that once the restrictions are over, all systems go. We've got projects all over the world. Amazing. I mean, projects from Lagos wanting to launch the HPV vaccination. They want to do a water project, and projects from India, project from Philippines. I think everybody is so excited. Everybody wants to do more. And that's where we need the help, not only from our own Rotarians, but friends of Rotarians, corporations, and to come in and help sponsor these projects through Rotary. And I think I must also take the opportunity to thank all the other Rotary clubs who have always come forward to help whenever there's a need to sponsor them. But a short answer to your question, it's the reverse. It's extremely busy. And Zoom has started something new as well, that you don't have to be there physically to conduct a project evaluation. Somebody will walk around with a camera and scan the whole room, and you're able to ask questions. So we've done that as well. So amazing. I'm telling you, it's new opportunities opening up all the time.
Thank you, Dr. Shahul.
Thank you.
There are no
there's one, if I may, there's one question from visiting Rotarian Leela Singaram from Zambia. Leela, do you want to ask your question, please? Are you still around?
Yes, hi. Sorry, Bridget.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Shahul, well, I'm a founder of a charity in Zambia. I'm a Singaporean, second generation Singaporean, and 14 years ago, I founded a school for orphans and vulnerable children. We started with 15 children, and today we are about 500. And we also have an adult education program for the single mothers, and we do support to the grandmothers. Now, I'm very new to the Rotary scene. I've just, this is my third, Bridget, third session. I think.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So I don't quite know how to go about it. So who would be able to advise?
Okay. Lila, I assume you're a Rotarian. Are you a Rotarian?
Yes. I am from the Lusaka District 9210.
Then we can work Rotary Club to Rotary Club. We can take this offline, and we can it's so easy to work with the email and with the phone and WhatsApp and everything. We can find out what exactly that you want to do for them, or what is the greatest need, and from there we can take it forward. In my mind, I can think of a few global grants already.
Okay, great. Maybe, I mean, do you work like with it has to be the president who works with TRF, or I mean, how does it go?
Well, we can work with Rotarian in your club. It depends on the structure of your club. So if there is somebody who's in charge of grants, then we can include that person. But if there are none, then you can be the one, since it's something that's very close to you.
Yeah, I'm also part of the projects team. So yeah.
Perfect. We can take it offline, please. I'll be happy to hear from you. I've never been to Zambia, not yet.
Great place. You have one of the
Thank you, Leela. Thank you. I think we'll make that as a last question. And now I'll call upon Pastor and Tapan to give thanks.
Thank you, President. Am I audible?
Yes.
I hope I am. We all know Rotary's tremendous power to transform our communities and ourselves. However, in every community, people have been left out, and we have not made a strong enough effort to reach them. This is the message from RI President Holger Nack in November 2020 issue of the Rotary magazine. Global grants help Rotary clubs to transform communities, and Rotarians like PP Shahul, who contribute dedicated time and treasure to institute global grants and promote TRF goals, transform themselves to serve the lives of the less fortunate. I have been associated closely with PP Shahul. From the day he formalized the role of Club Rotary Foundation Committee and became the first chair of CRFC of the Rotary Club of Singapore, global grants took a new dimension in our club. In fact, the global grant era, or the Rotary International Global Grant era, started with his presidency. And it is therefore that Shahul has been the greatest proponent of global grants that we see in our club, because he brought in, harbingered the global grant revolution in our club, if I may say so. Global grants in our club have made friends across the globe and touched lives like never before. His presentation of 90 approved global grants is ample tribute to the vision of a past president and the possibilities that exist to serve. Thank you, PP Shahul, for the lucid presentation and your contribution to the cause. Shahul is probably popularly known among members of the RI board as PDG Shahul. He is the first PP to be the District Rotary Foundation Chair of District 3310. And who knows, one day we may all decide to award him an honorary title of PDG, unless of course he decides to. I'd rather leave it unsaid. May I request you to please put your hands together to say a big thank you to PP Shahul for a Rotary job well done.
Please unmute yourself and do it.
Well done,
Thank you, Shahul.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Well done, Shahul.
Thank you.
Excellent and
Thank
inspiring
you,
as
PP
usual.
Tapan.
Thank you.
And
You're welcome, President.
Tapan is now the CRFC chair, that is Club Rotary Foundation chair, which was vacated by Dr. Shahul when he becomes the District Rotary Foundation Chair. Thank you.
It's a very heavy burden.
Yes. But
I can't live up to that.
You'll do that. Well, so once again, I'll say that Dr. Shahul, you have created a lot of awareness. I think we will continue to work in this direction. We have to bring a culture of giving. Our club has many contributors who have been contributing big amount of money. Thank you very much to all of them, but we have to bring this to every member. It doesn't matter we contribute $50 or 100, and you have seen what a $50 can do. Dr. Shahul has demonstrated that very clearly in those pictures. So we will continue to do that. And in this month of Rotary Foundation, we are going to have some more speakers. I would say on 25th of November, we will have a speaker which Dr. Shahul has shown in one of the pictures, the person who has donated 14 million, which is equal to 100 crores in India. 100 crores in India is a very big money. And he will be our speaker.
He has not responded to me yet, so just a word of caution.
No, he said he's busy. He will reply on the 11th.
Okay, whatever, that's fine. Thank you.
Suresh will manage. And I think that gives me, and since Suresh spoke just now, I think we have to really thank our VP membership. Suresh is organizing, getting so many Rotarians from the region to attend today's talk. Thank you, VP Suresh. Next week's speaker is Professor Jeff Obard, Living Planet, and his topic will be, can we avoid hothouse Earth? This is environmental, climate change. I think will be an interesting speech. Please join us. And today we had a limitation of 100 members, and I can assure you we are going to increase that to an unlimited number. And I'm sure when Ravi Shankar speaks, we will have many Rotarians from the region to listen to him. And we will manage that. Well, fellow Rotarians and guests, it's 8:33. We normally close our meeting at 8:30. I do not think that we have much time for fellowship, but if you like, you may stay on. And I would like, once again, I thank you all very much. And I would like to thank Manish Mehta. He's from attending from US. So thank you very much. And I will now close the meeting. And if you like, you can continue a few minutes as a fellowship. Thank you.
Right.